Good afternoon. Got some exciting news. My new long block finally has made it. It's been a long journey. It made it in last night and it delivered. And this is the next day after work. And so it is here. So it's exciting stuff. We're going to start making videos about getting this long block installed in my Land Rover. The long block took almost exactly 11 weeks from the day I ordered it to the day it showed up at my house, which is a little longer than British Atlantic first indicated. They said it was about 6-week lead time. It took about 10 weeks and then only 3 or 4 days to ship it from, I think they're in New York, down to Missouri where I'm located. And so I will bring you in for a closer look. I did unwrap it, so this is how it showed up. I had my radiator here, and on the back side of the, here they had the clutch, saran wrapped, and it had a metal band across, and it came in very secure, no damage to anything that I could tell. I haven't looked at it too much. Again, it came in late last night, and so I didn't get to look at it until like 9 o'clock at night, and it was really dark out here, but I did unwrap it just to look at it. But I'll bring you in for a closer look. Alrighty, well let's pop this crate off. Come on, Redley. Let's see what's inside. Let's let the camera see. So as you can see, let me make sure you guys can see okay. And you can. So you can see it is fully wrapped up. I haven't opened it up from here. The way it came, it had these cardboard corners, and it was like this and fully wrapped with this crate. This is a really nice crate itself that you get, I think, $250 back once you return it back to them. What else is in here is a box of all the other gaskets I will need. And so the top end, like plenum dolly cover, looks like it has the valve cover gaskets as well. I also ordered a clutch alignment tool because this is going on a manual transmission. So I got the new clutch, the clutch alignment tool, and like I said, the radiator and the clutch was on it as well. So let's very carefully undo it. You can't see it now, but I'll bring you in for a closer look. In this valley, it looks like they included some zinc additive for brake-in oil, which is, I didn't realize they were going to do that. That's really a nice addition that they did. So let's take the strap off here real quick. Alright, now that it's unwrapped, I'll show you what they included. So it looks like, let me see on the camera, looks like they include some break-in procedure, which that's outstanding that they do that. So I'll read that a little later. And they also include this Lucas Zinc Plus additive, and I imagine this is for breaking it in. So great addition. I didn't realize they were including it. I'm happy about that. Let me bring you a little closer to show you what it looks like and what you get from Atlantic British when you order a long block. So as you can see, the heads are on, got the timing chain, so the heads should be in time, all the valves with the lower end pistons, and so there's some tools and stuff to do, and knowledge you have to do to get that all aligned, so I'm very happy that I got the long block where I don't have to worry about that. The only thing I upgraded from their normal long block package, I'll zoom in on it, is going to be the head studs. So usually this would just come with the normal head bolts, and as you can see, I got the ARP head studs. Besides that, the two other things that Atlantic British does, and I think a lot of the companies that rebuild these, they do, is the top hat liners, which they machine the top of the piston sleeves, and so it can't come loose and move up and down and make a tapping noise and have it coming up and down with your piston. It is locked into place and held with that top hat. And then the other thing is the camshaft bearings, I believe. There might be the crank bearings they put oil grooves to allow for additional oiling. And I'm pretty sure it's the crankshaft that they add those additional oil grooves. But I couldn't be happier. This thing looks awesome. Not a single speck of dirt, which is going to be a nice change from what was in there. But this thing looks fantastic. So come along as we get this thing installed, and this should take multiple episodes to get this thing installed, but I'm definitely happy of showing everyone the journey and what it looks like when you get a new long block from a Land Rover British. Alrighty, I threw some painter's tape just as a precaution, temporarily, just to cover up some of these intake holes and exhaust holes. Last thing I need is something falling in those while I'm unboxing here and having to take apart this motor that I just paid Atlantic British to put it together for me. So I'm just being some precaution, and we'll continue with the unboxing. I have not opened up the radiator yet, so that'll be the next thing I show off here. Alright, before I show the radiator, I want to show this build sheet, or I guess it's a final inspection checklist. So this came attached. So it tells you kind of what the motor is, the gems, heads on, 4.0, some serial number information, and this has their checklist to ensure everything was in there. It has some notes for the crank, which 1010, not exactly sure what that represents. The cam thrust has those measurements there, the .008, who it was inspected by, and the date it was inspected, so May 1st, 2026. The other thing I wanted to show is the invoice, or I guess it's the invoice. This was attached as well, and it has some of my personal information on there, so I won't show the whole thing, but what I will show is just the total. So, thing cost me, the motor, the long block, $8,752.75. Let me just check it real quick and ensure that's just the so you take that back. That is the total, but what that includes is the long block, the radiator, the stud kit, the catalytic converter, the clutch, and the clutch alignment tool. Alrighty, I think I was able to hide all the personal information on the top. So the $8,752 is more just the long block, so let's just go over it together. Looks like $6,610 for the long block, and then the radiator is $847. This ARP studs is $300, so that's what I paid extra. Everything else is just the standard cost besides that $300 for the ARP studs. The catalytic converters I've showed in another episode, $700, and then the clutch kit, or the clutch, excuse me, $340, and then the clutch alignment tool is $5. The shipping charge is $650, and it's a one-time charge that covers for the crate to make it to me and for me to send the core back. And what I should be getting back, I believe I should get $1,250 back once I return my core. So that's what it looks like. Alright, so here is the radiator. So I will pull this out. And be careful because I want to put it back in this box. But my radiator was very corroded. It's seen almost 200,000 miles, or I guess over 200,000 miles. I think it's 215. So here is the radiator. So this is the direction it would face. You have one of your tubes here, one of your tubes here, and then I think your oil lines here and here, and then your overflow and your radiator cap should go. Actually, this might not have a radiator cap, it might just have the reservoir itself. But the fins look perfect. I will be doing another video just talking about the cooling upgrades. I don't want to spoil that, but I have bought some cooling upgrades, this being one, a water pump, a fan clutch, a heavy-duty fan clutch, and then a thermostat to complete the cooling upgrades. And I'll get more into what I bought, but I want to give credit to, I think it's Addictive Motors that specializes in like Land Rover videos. Picks up some knowledge from them on how to do a heavy-duty cooling overhaul, and so I'll do another video just showing the cooling upgrades. But the radiator, definitely an important piece to ensure I get long life out of my new long block. Alright, and then lastly, this should be my clutch. So, throw bearing. Here's the friction pad, part of the clutch. And here's the surface that the clutch will rest on. The clutch that was on it was in decent shape, but anytime you pull the motor or pull the transmission, you might as well replace the clutch. You don't want it to go back in there. So that is what my British Atlantic or Atlantic British long block crate looks like. That's what came with it. I'm definitely very excited to start getting it put inside the vehicle. I need to honestly get a game plan still. This is still hot off the press and just got it in. Get a game plan how I want to put it in, how I want to shoot videos to do that. The downside is the next 2 weekends I am busy with plans. So I'll see what I can do after work here and there, and then find a good weekend to get it done. Thank you for watching, and please follow along as I get this long block installed. Please subscribe, it helps for you to stay tuned, and hopefully I get some more subscribers as I put this long block in. Thanks.